Hey everyone, this is AK Coder. Welcome to episode 1 of the Learning Python series in my YouTube channel. In this course, you will learn all about the programming language Python and all of the basics and key concepts of it. In this course, you will learn print statements all the way to functions and classes. Each episode in this series will cover a few topics and will be in the range of 5 to 20 minutes long. Let's get started. Today's schedule includes setting up our Python editor, so the Python editor we will be using is repo.it. And then we will learn about print statements, data types, and lastly, variables. First, we'll be starting off by setting up our Python editor. So we'll be using replit.com, a website that allows you to create projects and code in many different programming languages. For this course, we will be using Python, and I will show you how to set up your account step by step. So to begin, go to this website. When you click on the link, it should take you to this page. So there's two buttons on the top right corner. One says login and the other says sign up. So we want to click on the sign up button because if you don't have an account, then you want to create one. If you already have an account, just click on login and log in into your account. Then it takes you to the sign up page. So you can either type in your username, your preferred username, your email and your password and then create your account. It should ask you a couple of questions, so just answer those and then you'll be done setting up your Replit account. Or you can click on continue with Google, continue with GitHub if you have a GitHub account, or continue with Facebook if you have a Facebook account. Once you create or log into your account, it should take you to a screen similar or exactly like this. Once you get to the screen, click on New REPL. Then you want to click on Python right here because we want to be coding in Python. I'm just going to name it Python Guide. Then you click on Create REPL. So next it takes you to a page like this. Next we'll be moving on to print statements. So print statements in Python are used to print out any necessary information in a program. You can print out text, numbers, decimals, logic values, and a lot more. So to create a print statement, start off by typing the word print and a set of open and close parentheses right after that. If you want to print out a text, you also need to type up a set of double quotations inside the parentheses. Now inside the quotation marks, you can type up anything you want. So I did print welcome to the Learning Python course. If you want to print a number, you have to use the same format. But you don't need to use quotation marks. You can even print out decimals. So some examples are print 6 and print 5.5. Now I'll show you how to create print statements in your repo.it project editor. So you just type up print, and if to type in the parentheses, if you just type in the open one, then it automatically creates the closed one too. And then it's the same thing for the quotation marks too. And inside the quotation marks, you can type up anything like hello, then the same thing, bye. You can even print logical values like true, false, numbers. And if to run this project and see the output of all of these print statements, you just have to click on this green button here, and it takes a second or two, and then it prints out everything you printed here. You can also try these print statements on your own repo.it project so that you get the hang of them. Let's move on to data types. So what are data types? A data type is a data storage format that can contain a specific type or range of values. Some common data types include integers, floats, strings, and booleans. So to explain it in a more understanding way, integers are regular whole numbers. So some examples include 1, 23 and 999. Floats are decimal numbers, so floats include 5.5 and 999.9. Strings are just basic texts, so they include Python and coding, and booleans are logical values. So there are only two types of booleans, so it's just true and false. To print out data types, you just have to put them in a print statement. So this is an integer, so you can just put 23 in a print statement, and then 9.99 you just put in a print statement. Python, this is a string, so you need to put it in quotation marks. So strings you have to put in quotation marks to print them out, or else you'll get an error. And last but not least, booleans. So for booleans, though they are a word, you don't need quotation marks for them. So you can just do print false or print true. So now let's move on to the last concept for the episode, variables. So what are variables? Python variable is a reserved memory location to store values. In other words, a variable in a Python program gives data to the computer for processing. To create a variable, start off by naming the variable. You can name this variable anything you want, except numbers and logical values. So you can't name a variable 1, you can't name it 2, 3, etc. Or you can't name it true or false. Then you type in an equal sign and then the value to the variable. For the value, you can enter in a data type. So these are some examples. So here, this is the name of the variable, tree. I named it tree. Then the equal sign, and then the value. So I put the value as a string. So I'm making a variable tree and assigning it to the value maple tree. And then I created another variable called number, and this time I'm assigning it to an integer. If you want to name a variable with two words, separate both words with an underscore. So this is an underscore. So if you want to name a variable, for example, my variable, you can't put a space or else it's going to give you an error. So you have to put an underscore instead. So I'll show you the difference between putting an underscore and a space. My variable is equal to hello there. It should give you an error message. And when you run your code, it should say syntax error. So syntax error just tells you that there's an error in your code. And it actually tells you where it is. So if you had like 50 lines of code, it's really helpful because it tells you exactly which line the error is in. It says in the file main.py, which is this file, in line 1, which is the only line in this project, it says my variable, and it puts this kind of caret sign right where the error is. So the problem is the underscore, so we just add that in and then run it again. The error goes and it's good. And you might wonder why it's not appearing in the console, because we haven't printed it out. So we just have to do print my variable and it's gonna print out hello there. So to print the variable, you have to put the variable name inside the parentheses of the print statement like this. So here there's a variable called ball, and I assigned it to a string called basketball. So to print it out, just put ball inside the parentheses of the print statement. So you don't need quotation marks for this, because if you put quotation marks, then it's gonna think you want to just print out ball, just B-A-L-L, instead of the value of the ball. So for variables, you're not supposed to put a quotation sign. It makes a difference. So here I put season is equal to 1, 2, 3, and then print season, and it's gonna print out basketball from the second line of code, and 1, 2, 3 from the fourth line of code. Thank you all for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to hit that like button and leave a comment regarding this episode so that I'll know how to make future episodes. Also, make sure to subscribe to this channel so that you'll know when future courses are released. See you in the next video!